just finished editing your video and you're ready to publish it online. What do? Let's jump right in. Now, the first step that you need to really cover is to make sure there are no errors. This is something that I used to skip over a lot. And then when the video is uploaded, I'm watching it and I see an error. I have to delete the video. I have to correct the error and then watch it again now, making sure there are no errors. And then my posting time got messed up. I'm doing things in a high anxiety state. This is not how professionals do it. So you want to make sure the first thing that you do is to watch your video thoroughly and make sure there are no errors. Even if it's a 30-minute video, sit down and just watch that video. Think about it like this. If you created a video and you are not even capable of sitting down and watching that video. I know you sit down and you watch a video 1,000 times through editing, but the truth is that's not really watching the video. You are focusing on individual parts, making certain areas look good and stuff like that. You're not looking at the bigger picture, making sure that it's all good. Watch the video, man. You just spend all that time. Make sure there are no errors in that video. You owe it to yourself. Now, the next step, we're gonna break it down as if it's a short form video. If you don't have background audio, you add background audio and make sure it is low enough that it is not disrupting your dialogue. Another thing that I make sure that I do is to make sure I have a visible headline. You will have a headline on your title, you'll have a headline in your caption, you have a headline on your thumbnail. But these are three things that could be overlooked by a viewer if they are just seeing your video on their For You page, or they're just viewing your video on Reels. They're just swiping and they just come across your video. How exactly will they know what this video is about as soon as possible? Some of the times we're just making long form content and cutting out pieces out of it. You want to have a visible headline. Keep it on screen for maybe 5 seconds, maybe 8 seconds. I don't know. I keep mine on screen for 8 seconds. Maybe I'll cut that down. Anything that I do now, I probably will be doing a version of it months from now. I update my systems very frequently. So right now it's at 8 seconds. And the last thing that I do is to add a thumbnail to the first 10 frames of my video. I post 2 videos every single day. I don't have the time to sit down and choose that many thumbnails every single day. If you want something to work, you make it simple that you don't even probably have to think about it. It's a no-brainer, and that's how you remain consistent. So I put 10 frames of my thumbnail at the beginning of every one of my short form videos, so that when it posts on a platform like TikTok or Instagram Reels or anywhere, when you go to my page, it will have a specific aesthetic there that I like to look at. I don't know if you guys like it. You guys let me know if you've ever been to any of my pages. I like that aesthetic look. I like when things look themed and it look put together and there's like a design to it. It also helps when people go to your profile, they're like browsing your content and they're choosing which video to watch. I personally feel like they look for the video that has like the most views. However, if you have a good thumbnail there and that thumbnail is something that is relevant to the viewer, then they'll click on that video as well. When you're making portrait thumbnails, you also have to make the information in frame for square, because most of the platforms like Instagram or even TikTok, even though you put up a portrait thumbnail, your profile per post is still going to be square unless somebody goes on Instagram and look at it from the Reels tab. If people just go to your regular profile on TikTok, on Instagram, they're just going to see the square version of your thumbnail. So that is something that I learned as well when doing this method, is to make sure that it's also fit for square. Now, the next thing that I learned while doing an omnipresent publishing system is contextual captions. This is something that I learned from Gary Vee. I was watching some of his videos and he spoke about it, that if you are taking like your same video and you're posting it on Instagram, on TikTok, you're posting it everywhere. I post my videos on all 7 platforms, on YouTube Shorts, on TikTok, on Twitter, on Pinterest, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram. The thing is, you want to start changing up that video to be unique for each platform. If you really think about it, it's a massive undertaking, because now one video just turned into 7 different variants. Times that by 2, maybe if you're posting 2 times, that's 14 different videos you have to work on individually. That's a lot of effort. But then he said, if you're a beginner, best to just change your captions. And that was manageable, because now I could make ChatGPT do all of the work. I created this prompt. I'm showing it on screen now. I'll put my video in Descript. It will transcribe my video. I will, edit out my script and make sure that it is perfect. Make sure it's saying all I want it to say, remove all the errors, and format it in the specific way that is in line with my prompt. I will send in my script, and then it will create a new caption for each platform that is relevant to my script. And that is one thing that I did, and it has shown me really good results. I love it. It can be a headache for scheduling, but we'll get to that at the end of the video. It makes sure that you are not just being too redundant, too simple. You want to make sure that you're making each platform get what it needs. For some platforms, you want to have a longer caption, like LinkedIn. You want to have a longer caption there. For Instagram, let's say you're working on long form. The first thing that I do is to pick up my title. My title is very important to me, because you have to sum up all of what your entire video is about in like maybe 7 to 9 words. That is a sweet spot for me. You should do experimentation, but I find that 7 to 8 words fit for me, because what is important to me is that my entire title is able to be displayed on the screen with the thumbnail. I don't like when it cuts off my title with ellipses. I want it to have my full title on the screen. My thumbnail is also very important. I make my title a lot larger because you have this long landscape title and it's showing on a tiny screen. I use big colorful text. I have a video that I break down all of the major principles of thumbnail design. You can find it in the cards right there. You also want to build your description. This is something that I use ChatGPT to help me out with. I mean, you want to summarize all of your video and you want to do that properly. Some of the things that I found when using ChatGPT to do this is you have to make sure that you're good at ironing out the tone that you are used to giving to your audience. If you're branding your identity, you want to ingrain your identity in your description. So this is all about prompt engineering. If you're a beginner to AI, I have a video coming up that will cover all of the practical uses I use AI in my video. Also in my description, I want to put timestamps because I love when people are able to say, hey, I know everything about this topic. I just want to skip ahead to the next topic. If you put timestamps in your video, it gives people an ability to say, I can't bother with these introductory topics. I'm just going to jump ahead to this topic that I want to learn everything about. So I think that helps a lot. So put timestamps in your video. You have to write it a specific way. I'll show it on screen now. And what I do, I have this little template. I copy that template and I just paste it in. I paste in the new timestamps and I paste in the topics for each timestamp and I copy everything I just put at the end of my description. I also put hashtags in my descriptions to help with search engine optimization. And speaking of hashtags, I then go down to the tabs area for YouTube and put in tags. I use ChatGPT to help me. You can ask it to, hey, generate 15 to 20 tags. You don't want to use a hashtag symbol. List them in a paragraph and separate them by commas. And this just helps me with time. It just speeds up the entire process. And it also makes sure that all your videos are properly optimized. YouTube is a large search engine, but it's all about videos. Google, on the other hand, is a search engine, but it's more for blogs and stuff like that. You have to take search engine optimization seriously when it comes onto YouTube. That's something that I've learned. Now, the last topic is scheduling. I personally believe that you should schedule your videos and not just post when you're ready. This is a bit controversial because a lot of people find that they get more reach when they upload and write their captions and do everything in one go on that platform. If that works for you, then sure. But based on my experimentation and the systems that I have to put in place, I can't do that. I have too much volume. Building a system, when it comes on to frequency, you have to make things simple. And you also have to make things work where you are able to not fall off of a specific frequency. I drop a video every Saturday. I haven't missed that promise yet because I put really good systems in place. I'm publishing videos 3 weeks ahead, and that gives me 3 weeks worth of time to plan the next set of content that I want. There's this balance between creativity and systems, creativity and order. Some people look at creativity as chaos, and then some people, they're just all about order. The scheduling aspect, this is where the order has to come into play. You want to make sure you're scheduling videos ahead of time so as you have more time to work on new content, as well as it allows everything to not fall off easily. Imagine you have to post 14 videos, because I post 2 times per day on all 7 platforms. Imagine doing that for a year, for 365 days. I know myself, that will never work. I would have to fall off. I would have to be busy one of the 7 a.m.s. I'd have to be caught up in a client meeting. I have to be working on my client stuff. I have to be doing other things that are more important than publishing that day. So scheduling is really important. Finding a good scheduling software, I think that's a video for itself. Maybe go and watch another video on that. But I personally use Metricool. It works for me. I love the fact that it's affordable. It also allows me to schedule all of my posts on all of the platforms that I use. I just love the experience with it. I tried it out for free at first and just make sure that it was gonna work if I was supposed to pay for it. I love the experience when I was on the free plan, so I paid and I got the bigger plan so that I could bring every single thing under one roof, and it just streamlined every single thing for me. This is how I basically schedule and publish all of my content. I've been doing omnipresence marketing now for 4 months straight. I know for a fact that I will be very consistent with social media because my publishing and scheduling system is very efficient. If you want to not fall off of social media, build systems, build really good systems that you're able to rely on. We talk about these systems all the time. Maybe I just make another video just really doubling down on systems, because sometimes I'm teaching you a topic but it's not really showing you how to systemize it. I read a book called Systemology. It was extremely powerful, changed my life, and it showed me the power of systems. And this is something that you should all take from the page of a business owner. If you systemize, then you're able to be lazy. You're able to do it on a bad day, and that's how you are able to remain consistent. That's how you're never to fall off. Anything that you're doing and you want to see true results, it's always going to come from consistent effort. You have to do it for a long time without even seeing results, taking the emotion of just getting the quick results out of it. Social media is just the same. You'll be posting for a very long time without seeing any results, and you have to take that emotion out of it, and you have to rely on your systems. And if you have poor systems, then you may have a poor experience. If you have really good systems, you'll have a really good experience and you'll get really good results, because your systems will allow you to remain consistent, which will allow you to get really good results. Thank you guys so much for watching.